Today we're gonna talk about 2025 movies. We did this last year too with 2024 movies, and oh, that was a trip to go back and listen to. Can I recap some stuff from our last year episode
Do
looking
it.
at 2024 movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this where we do like a transitional sound and then you cut back to like
Yeah, Ethan's editing it, so
Bloop, 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 bloop.
it's probably just gonna be Love on Top for a little while, and then
Da, 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 da,
it's
da,
the worst
da.
song you can do for karaoke. I did it once.
Oh, yeah, the big mistake.
the big
I can't,
mistake.
and don't do it.
Ethan started last year's episode by saying, "Eli, I'll eat your hat if you remotely enjoy the movie Madam Web." So, Ethan, would you like to eat my hat?
Yeah,
Eat
I gotta
a
eat that
hat.
hat.
Eat a hat.
Another great quote from Ethan in that episode. Dude 2 is going to suck.
Yeah.
It's going to suck. I'll eat your hat if it doesn't suck.
From eating
So-
hats,
Two hats. Eat two hats.
eating hats left and right.
And then you also asked me if I have a crush on Margaret Qualley, which is just funny because it wasn't for the movie The Substance. It was for the movie Drive Away Dolls. And I thought that was pretty funny.
I was gonna say, can I tell you there's been a big internet thing since the Grammys last night because she's married to Jack Antonoff and there's all these pictures they're now putting out that where she has to like slump because she's taller than Jack Antonoff. And I hate it. Margaret, wear the heels. Be tall.
Wait, how tall is Margaret Qualley?
9
Margaret-
feet.
Let's see. I'll find out.
In my
We keep
head,
talking
she was not a tall person. But am I wrong? Is Jack Antonoff
Well, I think
such
Jack
a short?
Antonoff is also small, and I think Taylor Swift is smaller than you think.
Taylor Swift's like
Margaret
5'11".
Yeah, Margaret Qualley's 5'8".
Oh, I lied. Oh,
How
5'8"?
tall is Jack Antonoff?
Jack
2
Antonoff.
feet.
I'm guessing. He is on a beanstalk. He is. Let's see, Jack Antonoff height. He's. Okay, this is wrong. Oh no, it says he's 5'11". 5'11" is a fake height for men. If he's 5'11", that means he's actually 5'7".
5'7"?
Yeah, you can count like 4 inches off. If
Caroline-
any man on a dating app says they're 5'11", they're 5'7".
Karen, this is the Trump administration. You cannot say mean things about men anymore, okay? Men
can't
are
speak.
exempt in the Trump administration.
I can't speak. It's okay. This is my last words.
Oh, on a podcast, I'm so sorry.
I will say, looking at our movie lists from 2024, oddly, none of us picked this movie, but we started last year's podcast by talking about the Adam Sandler movie Spaceman and how we all wanted to pick Spaceman, and it was all on our list and on the bubble.
Oh, Jesus.
So remember, that
Oh.
was a movie about Adam Sandler in space talking to a spider that exists.
Did it come out?
Yes, it came
Yeah.
out like a day after our podcast. too.
Nobody picked it.
Hilarious.
All right. I think, okay, I gotta say, I think Caroline won last year. And I know we're not gamifying this too much, but let me just break down. Okay, so we each picked 5 movies we were looking forward to in 2024. I picked Maxine, the third in the X Pearl movies. See No Evil, the movie The End, the musical that came out that nobody saw. Civil War, so I got that going for me. And Terrifier 3. That's a pretty, like, I would see all 5 of those movies. I have not seen The End, but I would see all 5 of those movies. My wild card was Late Night with the Devil as well, which I loved. So I feel good about my choices. Ethan.
Oh,
you didn't,
no.
you
I
didn't
not
do
do
well,
good?
my
Yeah.
friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, you started off with Furiosa, which fine. You loved Furiosa. The world did not. But
His
you
number
loved
10.
Furiosa. And then you also picked Mickey 17, a movie that did not come out.
It's a loss.
You picked Nosferatu, which I liked. It was okay.
But I haven't
It was
seen,
beautiful.
which is like minus some points, I imagine.
You
You're a
picked Beetlejuice.
child.
You
Thank
picked
you.
Beetlejuice.
Didn't see.
And
Made a
you
lot of
picked
money.
Juror, and you picked Juror number 2.
Saw it, thought it was mediocre.
And your wild card was Megalopolis.
Didn't see, minus 1 million points.
And then there's Caroline, who, if we count one of the ones which never came out in the US last year, but did come out in the world, I think you have a pretty flawless list here. You got Wicked, Challengers, Hitman, Paddington in Peru, and Love Lies Bleeding.
Oh, wow.
You crushed it. And your
Am I-
wild
Good,
card,
Caroline.
your wild card was Trap.
Oh, did I not say his 3 daughters? I thought
You
that
also
was
said
maybe
you also called out Lisa Frankenstein and his 3 daughters.
I feel pretty good about that.
Caroline had a rant about how Fiero is British for penis.
Nice.
That
You
sounds
also
like something
claimed
I
there
would
was a
say.
fake nose in there, and is there a fake nose in Wicked?
I don't know. Now I gotta go back. I don't know what I was reading at that time. As someone who's hopefully seen Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande on Thursday with John Chu, I only say have good things to say.
Well, tell them we say hi. I remember looking at the list last year, being like, "Shit, I have no idea what to pick." And this year, I looked at the list and I thought, "Shit, there's too many things to pick." 2025 is stacked
It's
with
like a
movies.
post strike year. It's like things really started coming out again. I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe.
And
I
it's
know I'm just gonna say I already know I have one I'm fighting Ethan for, so
oh,
I know
nice.
what's gonna happen.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 IMDb tabs open, ready to talk about 5 movies. So hopefully you don't take everything I want to take. Um, so let's do it. Let's jump into it. This is our 2025 movies. I'm gonna say that again. This is our 2025 movies. I'm very drunk. Um, how are we gonna score this at the end of the year, or is this just a like we did this year of yeah, clearly Caroline won situations?
And is there like a bet? Is there like a you get something if you win?
Yeah, okay. If I win, you both have to watch an entire season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
That literally I do that already. It's the great and it should be winning Oscars. It is better than anything you're seeing in theaters. I
All
feel
right.
very strongly about that.
Caroline,
Miriam Cosby.
do you want to go first? You can go first. We're gonna do this in a snake fashion.
Sure. Okay, are we doing top to bottom?
Actually, let's not do a snake fashion. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that okay?
Yeah. And then if we have one that another person picks, we have to like change our picks, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
No.
got it.
Maybe. Sure. Go.
Okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna pick this for number 1 because I'm gonna be really kind and let Ethan have the one I think we're fighting over. Uh,
Aw. You guys
I
are
know.
cute.
That's very nice. So my number 1, Wicked for Good. I cannot wait for Wicked 2.
What are they gonna do to make that a 2-hour long movie?
Well, 1, we have a new song for Glinda that they've written for the movie that I'm very excited for. I'm sorry to see Jonathan Bailey and Cynthia Erivo do As Long As You're Mine. For Good, I'm gonna need 7 Xanax to get through For Good on the big screen. I can't wait.
I do think like you just mentioned the two great songs in the second act, and No Good Deed Goes Unpunished is an
No Good
interesting
Deed,
song.
incredible.
But like
Yeah.
they said this about the first one is that the bangers are in act 1. The bangers are in act 1 and they have new songs. Apparently there are 2 new songs and that's great, but we gotta get some bangers.
I think movie magic will astound us. I think don't cut out it's just act 2 is tonally so different than act 1.
Yes.
And I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it. I think it's gonna be great. I was really nervous about Wicked Part 1, and they nailed it, and I think I'm excited and I'm glad they filmed them both at the same time, so we're not having to wait. It's a nice bookend.
The movie gets really boring, and then Sophia Riva just starts singing "I'm Here," and that's just stops the show, and she wins the
Uh,
Oscar.
Fine with me.
yeah.
I'd be fine with that. Um, yeah, it's gonna be good. Ethan, what's your number 1?
Okay, let's be real here. The greatest franchise that is currently running in Hollywood is the Mission Impossible series. And Mission
Mhm.
Impossible: The Final Reckoning, I will need 4 good level Xanax to get through that final moment. I don't know I think the Xanax, not because of tears, but because of the story of the person
Adrenaline.
who almost had a heart attack in the final scene. I love these movies. The poster is just the man's face. He has the best face. He's fucking Tom Cruise. Like, let's go. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Come on.
This franchise is why we go to the cinema. Like,
Yes.
I can't they filmed this for IMAX. I will be using all of my AMC A-list reservations for it. I can't wait. They're gonna have to kick me out of the theater.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be
My
great.
m
It's gonna be incredible.
my theme for this year is directors I like and casts that look insane. So my number one pick is a movie called Eddington, directed by Ari Aster, who has never made a bad movie. The cast is Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Joaquin Phoenix, Clifton Collins Jr., Luke Grimes, and it goes on and on from there. Ari Aster's never made a bad movie, and I'm gonna love this movie, and it looks like it's a Western. So come on. Come
Comedy, like
on.
a comedy Western, right?
Come on. Yes. Let's do it.
Eli, what kind
Revolves
of
around a couple stranded in a small New Mexico town during the pandemic. Initially welcomed, the town takes a sinister turn by nightfall. It reunites director Astor with actor Phoenix, portraying a sheriff with bigger ambitions. Come on.
Eli, what types of Westerns do you like most? Like, how do you,
Yeah.
when you're
Spaghetti.
thinking about Westerns, okay, so there has to be spaghetti, so there's a spaghetti scene.
Yeah, they filmed it in Italy. Yeah, that I like. High Noon was one of my favorite movies for a long time. I like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I have issues with some of those movies just in pacing, but I'm a big cheap Italian Western movie. That's what I love. Those are
Cool.
spaghetti Westerns. And I will watch them on Turner Classic Movies at any day of the week because I'm 90 years old.
He's 90. Wow. Tuck everlasting over here.
I
Yeah.
tried to show George the movie Jaws. Don't question my parenting. And he goes, "Ew, this movie's old, like from the 80s." And I was like, "It's from the 70s."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I don't watch old movies," and then demanded I put on Kong vs. Godzilla. Don't question my parenting. Anyway, go ahead, Caroline. What's your number two?
Okay, my number 2, because this was a big year for Luca Guadagnino, but I think this coming year is gonna be even bigger. After the Hunt, starring, listen to this cast, baby, Julia Roberts, Chloe Sevigny, Andrew Garfield, Ayo Edebiri, Michael Stuhlbarg, and they've said this is going to be Julia Roberts' Tar, and I cannot wait. She's a college professor. The logline for the movie is a college professor finds herself at a personal and professional crossroads when a star pupil levels an accusation against one of her colleagues and a dark secret from her own past threatens her career. Everything I could want in a film.
Yeah.
Will it get an Oscar nomination?
Yes, I'm ready. It's time. It's time for another Julia Roberts Oscar nomination. We're overdue.
I think she needs like the part that allows her to be like in the conversation for the next 20 years. Like she needs sort of her Devil Wears Prada moment. And not to say like I'm not trying to say like, oh, she's as good as Meryl. That's not it. But Meryl Streep, there was like a definitive moment when Meryl Streep got to have another sort of 20 years at the top of the world. And it was The Devil Wears Prada. And I think that Julia Roberts needs that moment as well.
Yeah. And I think Luca keeps saying this has been her best role filming this movie.
Cool.
So I'm very excited to see what that means.
Ethan, what's your number two?
My number two is so like film twittery, but you know, One Battle After Another, or the Battle of Baton something, or really the next Paul Thomas Anderson movie. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. He's making a movie. Leo DiCaprio is in it. Regina Hall is in it. Benicio del Toro is in it. Like, what could possibly go wrong?
And to be clear, you are still on Twitter, right? Like you're a big advocate of
I'm on
Twitter.
Twitter.com. Has anything else changed? Oh no, your faces.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson is, I don't know. We should maybe, if that movie does come out this year, it seems like it will, we should really do like a real conversation about that person.
I hear good things.
Never made a bad movie. Has
No.
made less successful movies, but has never made a bad movie. So of
I-
course this movie.
I did
Gonna be
just read
amazing.
an article that this is his biggest budget, and a lot of that's because of Leo, and studio executives are very concerned because the movie is, quote, weird. And it's like, is this more of like an Inherent Vice kind of movie where he had $150 million to make Inherent Vice? Like, that is probably at the bottom of my PTA list, even though I did like it. And so we'll see. You will see.
Yeah, it's. I hope it's a weird. I hope it's that level of Paul Thomas Anderson, but Uh, I don't think it's gonna make any money. I still am gonna love it very much.
Yeah, I'm gonna love it.
All right, my number 2 is, okay, look, Timmy Chalamet, I hope you win the Oscar. When in a year from now, I don't wanna be listening to this and saying, "Ugh, he didn't win the Oscar." Uh, but I think he's gonna get an Oscar next year as well, because he's in a movie called Marty Supreme, directed by Josh Safdie. You got Timmy Chalamet. You also got Gwyneth Paltrow and Fran Drescher, my dream cast right there. Uh, Also Tyler, the Creator, and Penn Jillette. What is this cast? Uh, in Safdie we trust. It's not the only Safdie movie coming out this year. But come on, it's about ping pong.
And he has his
Let's
little
go.
mustache.
He has a
He
little
has his little
mustache.
mustache.
But most importantly,
His little
Fran
Benson
Drescher.
Boone, his little Benson Boone mustache. I'm very excited about this movie.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like Josh Safdie is like the genius of the two?
So I don't know if any of you are gonna pick Betty Safdie's movie, The Smashing Machine, starring The Rock and Emily Blunt, but that movie's also coming out next year, so it is gonna be a Safdie show off. I consider Benny more the, like, artist actor one, and Josh more the, like, artsy fartsy director one. Like, you know how when Joel and Ethan Coen each make their own movies, one of them is very like, this is quiet Shakespeare, and the other one's like, let's put a dildo in the box, see what happens.
Yeah.
That's what I'm intrigued to see what happens with these two Safdie movies. But Marty Supreme is my number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, a little Soderbergh film called Black Bag, starring Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, my diva from industry, why can't I think of her name right now, that she was, Amy Winehouse in the Back to Black movie this year in Reggae Jean. I love a spy movie. I think it's gonna thankfully erase all the bad taste from not being able to watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith anymore because Brad Pitt is bad. And I think it's gonna be fun. I love a Soderbergh movie like this, and I think it's sexy, and I can't wait to see it.
It does look sexy. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Fassbender needs a win too.
Yeah. Yeah. The Killer really was a dud.
I like The Killer, but it didn't do anything. But I do like that movie. I like that movie because I think about it all the time of like, if you haven't seen The Killer, he's breaking into places and he's just on Amazon, just finding the things he needs and ordering it to himself. It's just fun, and I think about that a lot of like, how would I break into this bill? Oh, I'll just Amazon tools. Anyway, Ethan, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is another untitled film. It is the untitled Trey Parker and Matt Stone and Kendrick Lamar Grammy-winning Kendrick Lamar film. I just would like to read the plot of this movie. This is just from Wikipedia. The film will depict the past and present coming to a head when a young black man who is interning as a slave reenactor in a living history museum discovers his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his. And that seems to be quite something to me. And I have always been a big believer in Trey Parker and Matt Stone and their satire, and Kendrick Lamar is obviously a genius, and it's just a very cool team up and a very pointed and funny premise, and they haven't made a movie in a really long time, those guys, so I just can't wait to see what they come up with.
Trey Parker is also a Grammy winner, as is Matt Stone. So there you go.
Yeah, well, 3 Grammy winners.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's gonna be great. Yeah, I still say the South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut is one of the best musicals
to
ever exist. It's
absolutely
so good.
Absolutely.
All right, this is very film blue sky of me, but we're going with The Phoenician Scheme, Wes Anderson's new movie. Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Rupert Friend, Benedict Cumberbatch, Bill Murray, Benicio del Toro, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Michael Cera, Riz Ahmed. That's the greatest cast I could possibly imagine. Wes Anderson just won an Oscar, too, for his short film, so let's see what he does here. I like all of his movies, and I've loved the last couple of them, so. The Phoenician Scheme. A dark tale of espionage following a strained father-daughter relationship within a family business. Yeah, sure. Wes
Fun.
Anderson. Great. I didn't even need
Fun.
to read that, and you would have gotten that. Great.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Let's do it.
It's gonna be a
Popcorn.
good time. Yeah. Awesome. All right. My number 4 is Die My Love, directed by Lynn Ramsey, and it is J-Law's comeback, baby. Robert Pattinson, Nick Nolte, Sissy Spacek, and Lakeith Stanfield. All I needed to see was the still of Pattinson and J-Law, and I'm locked in. All we know about the movie, it's in a remote, forgotten rural area. Mother struggles to maintain her sanity as she battles with psychosis. Amazing.
Sure. In.
Yeah.
I
I
was in when he said Lynn Ramsey, so.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and especially as someone who is really missing J-Law and Twisters this year, because I think that should have been her, but, we're in a J-Law deficit, and I'm ready to get her back.
Hell yeah.
It's time she comes
Ethan, what's
home.
your number 4?
Let's just keep on rolling with the Robert Pattinson experience and go once again with Mickey 17. I think that when we knew nothing about this movie last year, it's like, oh, this is the new Bong Joon-ho movie. He made Parasite. Obviously, it's going to be amazing. And now we've seen some trailers, and this movie ain't winning any Oscars, but I bet it's just going to be like an awesome 2 hours at the movies. I can't wait. Like, whatever Pattinson's doing seems nuts, and let's go have a good time.
What was that Bong Joon-ho giant pig movie? You remember what
Okja.
I'm talking about? Okja. I loved that movie, and I'm getting
Oh.
similar vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting similar, like, goofy vibes. I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. Cool. I'm going with High and Low, and I recognize I'm pretentious, but it's Spike Lee's adaptation of Kurosawa's High and Low. I think it's called Highest and Lowest, but IMDb has it as High and Low.
Yeah.
It's Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, Ice Spice, Michael Potts. Like, it's a great cast, and it's a Spike Lee joint. I almost said movie. Forgive me, Spike Lee. Spike Lee can do no wrong. Let's see this movie.
Excited.
Have either of you seen High and Low, the Kurosawa movie?
No, it's
No.
on my list of I want to do Kurosawa this year.
I will say it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Cool.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then again, Spike Lee also definitely adapted like Old Boy, and we don't talk about that because the
Right.
original Old Boy is its own thing. So who knows? We'll see how this turns out. But I think Spike Lee's been making some really interesting things recently. So let's see what happens.
It's fun. Okay, my number 5, since Marty Supreme has been taken, we're
Tee-hee.
pivoting to The Wedding Banquet, a remake directed by Andrew Ahn, who directed Fire Island, which is maybe one of my favorite rom-coms of the last 5 years. It's a remake of Ang Lee's movie. A gay man makes a deal with his lesbian friend, a green card marriage for him in exchange for in vitro fertilization treatments for her, because his grandmother thinks he's getting married to a woman. It's Bowen Yang, Joan Chen, who should have been in the conversation this year for Best Supporting Actress for Dee Dee, and the grandmother from
Minari.
Minari. Yeah. It looks amazing, and I'm thrilled to see so many rom-coms in the mix this year, and we need more of them.
Yeah, let's get more rom-coms. I thought that when I saw Dogman with my son, there were trailers beforehand, and I was just like remembering when I was in high school seeing trailers, and it was for like Stealing Harvard or those like really cheaply made just comedies, and being like, where's the trailer that starts with like a car coming up and you hear, "Yeah," and then you hear like a bass guitar start to play, and you're like, oh, this could be a Tom Green movie. Like, that's what I want. I want more of those.
You want more
Uh,
Tom Green movies?
I want,
Oh, yeah.
I guess what I'm saying
Which
is I want more
I'll
Tom Green movies.
I'll say in the family of that, One of Them Days was fantastic. It was that similar kind of vein with Keke Palmer and SZA. I want
wanna
100
see
of those
that.
movies. It's so fun. It's a very LA movie. It was really, I can't recommend, a great 95 minutes to go see with your friends, and it's laugh out loud funny. I can't recommend it enough. More of those movies.
Oh yeah. Ethan, what's your number 5?
Okay, I'm gonna go small on this one for my last one, and it's this movie called Avatar: Fire and Ash. A small little picture. It's Avatar. They're the first two are number 1 and 3 for most money made of all time. The second one was legitimately really great. anyone who wants to shit on Avatar now has been proven incorrect. I've been right all along since 2009. I knew that James Cameron had the juice, and boy, does that man have the juice.
I'm so excited to see this movie, and then I'm so excited to actively root against it at next year's Oscars. But I'm very
I,
excited
I
to
don't
see
think
it.
I don't think that it's like I think the Oscar moment really was the first one. I don't think that any of these movies are gonna be like big Oscar things, but the second one was such like Black Panther 2 came out a week before or a couple weeks before. Little Mermaid, the live action one, came out 6 months after. It is so obvious that the shit that James Cameron is doing is so much better than anything anyone else is doing special effects wise. Like those movies look like utter shit compared to Avatar Way of Water, and I'm sure that that's going to be the same way here. Like he's just blowing people away with the stuff that he does. And the storytelling's good. Like the storytelling's legitimately compelling. They killed a real character in this movie. Like, when was the last time that Marvel did anything that meaningful or bold with their IP? So, James Cameron, man.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about it. I famously got such a bad migraine, I puked after seeing Avatar 1, and I shan't be seeing another one. But
Cool.
I appreciate them.
Cool.
Yeah.
My number 5, I was tempted to just say the movie Companion, which is so good, and everyone go see the movie Companion. But I didn't. I went with my favorite director, Edgar Wright. He has a movie out called The Running Man, and it stars Glenn Powell and Coleman Domingo and Josh Brolin and Lee Pace and Katie O'Brien and Amelia Jones from that movie, Coda, and William H. Macy and Michael Cera. Come on. Don Hayes is in it, so there'll be like 10 podcasts about it. The Running Man. It's Edgar Wright. Never made a bad movie. Let's
Do you like the
go.
original?
I love the original, but the original is campy, and that's what I like. The original is, to me, essentially like Big Trouble in Little China, where you're watching it just to have a good time, to have a great time. Um, I'm interested to see what Edgar Wright brings to this, and I know
That's
he's a fan of both the story and the movie. So
that's what surprised me about this being his pick is that I obviously the original isn't in like his particular style. It's not like one of the Cornetto trilogy type movies, but because it is campy, like Baby Driver I found was like a very campy movie. I was just surprised to think what he thinks he can do differently in that movie.
and
Mm.
the answer is going to be rhythmic editing. But let's
Yes.
Yeah.
see. I'm excited about it. Caroline, do you have any like wild cards or call outs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, my wild card is Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. It is out next week, and they said they want to make 30 more of those movies, and I'll be at every single one of them because Bridget Jones is one of the best characters of the last 20 years, and I'm happy to see her again.
I got can I say 3?
Yes.
Okay, 1, just like calling out that there's a new Superman movie and James Gunn is pretty good at directing movies like this and
Mm.
you know, I'm just interested to see if anything interesting happens. Sinners original story, freaking Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan looks interesting. Really hope
Cannot wait.
it's good. And then I'm gonna throw out Materialists, Celine Song's new movie with Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal and Captain America himself, Chris Evans, who needs a win more than anybody.
You mean
Uh,
Apple TV's Chris Evans?
Yeah, Apple TV's Chris Evans. And I know we're like team past lives here. So let's see what Celine Song does next.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous that it's like, oh, we love Past Lives too. There's a lot of money in big stars. Go make another. It doesn't usually work out for people when you do that. But I am a huge fan of Celine Song, so let's see what happens. My wild card is the winner of the audience award at TIFF last year, Life of Chuck. A TIFF audience winner is always nominated for Oscar, and this year it didn't come out in 2024, so it's The Life of Chuck, Mike Flanagan's new movie, starring Tom Hiddleston. I'm just gonna name all the other movies that I had open in case y'all stole my top 5. Life of Chuck, 28 Years Later, which is directed by Danny Boyle and is written by Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, just like the original. That trailer looks crazy. I did have Superman on my list because I do think it looks really good. I also had the Fantastic Four movie just because I'm intrigued by the cast. Bugonia, which is a new Yorgos Lanthimos movie starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. So come on. The comedian Stavros is in it too. Do you know that guy?
Yeah. He's everywhere.
Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Not to be confused with Bride of Frankenstein, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Those are both coming out, but you can't root against a Guillermo del Toro movie. Honey, Don't, directed by Ethan Coen, going back to my one Coen is weird, one Coen is artsy. This is a weird one, but it stars Margot Qualley. It stars Marvel boy Chris Evans, Aubrey Plaza, Charlie Day. It's going to be a wild movie, for sure. Like I mentioned before, The Smashing Machine, Betty Safdie's UFC champion movie starring The Rock and Emily Blunt. Hey, is Emily Blunt going to have any dialogue in this movie? We'll find out. And I also put The Ballad of a Small Player, which is Edward Berger's new movie. I've learned you can't root against Edward Berger anymore. Like, he's 2 for 2 with Oscars stuff. Colin Farrell's in this one. Tilda Swinton's in this one. No idea what it's about, but it's a new Edward Berger movie, so let's see what happens.
Oh, and we're getting another Predator movie. I'm very
Hell
excited.
yeah.
As a new fan of Predator, can't wait. It's with the same guy that did Prey. I can't wait.
What is the premise? Is it where
I don't know. We'll find out because I don't know if they're going to continue the where in history they're going. But Elle Fanning is in it.
Vikings
love that.
versus Predators? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Prey was so good.
Prey was
It was-
so good.
Prey was so good.
Apparently, Olivia Wilde might be dating the guy that played the Predator in Prey.
Hell yeah.
I
Me
know.
too.
I'm into it.
I'm also dating him.
Yeah. News flash. Wait, I'm shocked neither of you said Now You See Me 4.
I like those movies. I wasn't
I
gonna
did
pick it, but I
too.
do like those movies. They're all fun.
I did too.
Isn't it 3? Is it 3 or
3?
4?
Let's
the
see.
third
I'm
one.
It's 3. Sorry. I thought there were 3 already. Yeah. Dave Franco.
I don't like how quickly I corrected you. Oh, speaking of Dave Franco, he has that movie out at Sundance that's supposed to be pretty good.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a body horror movie with him and his wife. Her name.
Alison Brie.
Brie.
Thank you.
I can't wait for the future movie when he plays Luigi.
Yeah, it's gonna happen one day. But it's
Yeah.
gonna be like a Funny or Die movie or something like that. It's not gonna work.
Yeah. Oh, and the new Knives Out comes out this year.
That's gonna be good. Will it
Yeah.
play theaters?
Yes.
Now that Greta got Netflix to release movies in theaters, will it play theaters?
Yes.
I think
Will
so.
Daniel Craig get an Oscar nomination?
I don't
No.
think so. No.
All right. Well, that's it. That's our 2025 movies. Ethan, do you have any big expectations for this year?
I think that this is the year. I just, I hope that everyone's okay from the fires and that Hollywood can get back to work. Because we need it. We need it so bad. And maybe those damn kids can put down their damn TikToks and watch a film instead. You can quote
It does
me.
bother me how hard it is to show my 7-year-old any movie because he just wants to see fast, quick, need quick cuts. This movie's too slow. I'm bored. And I'm like, come on, man. You're watching one of the greatest movies ever made. And he just can't. That's why I watched the movie Dogman in theaters. And I mean, that's the humor of Dogman is it's very go, 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 fast, 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 go, go, go. It was so fast I fell asleep because I was so
It's too
overwhelmed
much.
by the movie. I was
Yeah.
just the seat is heated, and then I fell asleep. And I slept good in that movie.
Yeah.
That was a great nap. Maybe you
It
need
was
to
a
take
great
George to a Herald and tape him to the seat, and he has to watch the Herald beginning to end.
Ooh.
I'd probably fall asleep there
Slow
too.
improv. Slow improv for 7-year-olds.
Anything else?
I still can't believe we have another month until the Oscars. This campaign's feeling wild.
God. It's not even worth talking about because people will be tweeting between when we, it's moving too fast. It's like the movie Dogman. It's moving too
Yeah.
fast.
I'll say for a very LA joke, I feel like I have a Watch Duty app for every single new interview Carlos Sofia Garzon is doing.
I'm worried that no bad press is good press. No Yeah, that's it. And all press is good press, and Amelia Perez is gonna end up winning the Oscar. I'm like I've been, like, bummed out for the last couple of weeks just accepting the fact that Amelia Perez is about to win the Oscar. I want everyone to know, I put out a call to action of who liked Amelia Perez, and I have only heard from, like, a couple people's parents. Nobody likes this movie.
What I'm hoping is we're seeing a real life Conclave play out, and Conclave wins Best Picture. And then that would be the best Oscar campaign of all time.
Oh, this is gonna be a different episode. We're gonna bring some friends on, we're gonna debate. I see a world where literally every single nomination I don't see a world where Nickel Boy wins, even though I love that movie, but I see a world where pretty much every other nominee wins, which is insane and has never
It's
happened before.
definitely,
Yeah.
I mean, definitely The Brutalist, definitely Amelia Perez, definitely Anora, definitely Conclave, definitely A Complete Unknown. I think that those 5 for sure could win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this your Royal Rumble? We get to Royal Rumble.
This is my Royal Rumble, and I want Jey Uso / The Substance to come out of nowhere and shock the world.
I need you both to see Better Man, because that's actually the best music biopic that came out this year.
I'll watch it.
It's crazy. If the listeners have not heard, it's the Robbie Williams CGI monkey movie. And you forget he's a monkey 20 minutes into the movie.
Wow.
What I love is the first review I read was, yes, they do the rip the skin off thing.
Oh, yeah. They did do that.
That's all we know about Robbie Williams. He's the dude who rips his skin off, and he's just a skeleton. You remember that music video?
Oh, yeah. He also gets into a fight with Noel Gallagher of Oasis. That's like 5 minutes of the movie. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The music scenes are very fun, like very interestingly filmed.
That's the director of Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm. Michael Casey?
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
John Gacy,
Nice.
Yeah, he's on the pod.
Nice.
No.
All right. Thank you, everybody. That's it. That's our show.
Paddington's out soon. Paddington's gonna save us.
Peru.
Sweet
I heard it's
Mary.
good, but like not as good as the other ones. We'll see. We'll see. No judgment. All right.
Bye.
That's it. That's our show. And as always, Ethan's excited for Predator. All right. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.